When we think of leaders, the images which come to our mind are of Mahatma Gandhi, Subhash Chandra Bose, Nelson Mandela, Dr. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, Abraham Lincoln, and many more. If I ask what is common in all of them, probably your reply will be good leadership. Do you know what is leadership? According to Warren Bennis, leadership is a function of knowing yourself, having a vision that is well communicated, building trust among colleagues, and taking effective action to realize your own leadership potential. According to Alan Keith, leadership is ultimately about creating a way for people to contribute to make something extraordinary happen. I will explain it with help of an example. On her very first day in the class, in the academic year, like most teachers, Miss Sonam looked at her students and said that she loved them all the same. But it was impossible because there in the last row, slumped in his seat, was a little boy named Vikram she had never liked. Miss Sonam had watched Vikram the year before and noticed that he did not get along well with the other students. His clothes were dirty, he was not tidy, he too was unpleasant to talk to. As the class teacher for grade 5, Miss Sonam was required to review each child's past records, and when she reviewed Vikram's file, she was shocked and surprised. Vikram's first grade teacher wrote, "Vikram is a brilliant boy with a lovable nature. He does his homework sincerely and is a joy to the school." His second grade teacher wrote, "Vikram is a bright child, well liked by his classmates, but he appears to be troubled because his mother is critically ill and life at home must be a struggle." His third grade teacher wrote, "His mother's death has troubled him seriously. It has started affecting adversely his studies. Even though he tries to do his best, his father neither shows much interest nor does the community in which he lives. It appears his home life will soon affect him too if some remedial steps are not taken." Vikram's fourth grade teacher wrote, "Vikram has become quiet and does not show much interest in school. He neglects homework. He does not get along well with the few friends that he has now. He sometimes sleeps in the class too." Miss Sonam by now realized the problem with Vikram and she felt ashamed of herself. On that very day, she quit the routine traditional school teaching as she did. Instead, she began to facilitate learning by children. Miss Sonam paid particular attention to Vikram. As she worked with him, his mind seemed to come alive. The more she encouraged him, the faster he responded. By the end of the year, Vikram had become one of the smartest children in the class. And despite her lie that she loved all the children the same, Vikram became one of her teacher's pet. In this story, Miss Sonam exemplifies the type of leadership you can take note of. She understood the little boy Vikram and made him feel like he is important and changed his life. She took upon herself the responsibility of extending her help to the children in the community. It's amazing what a teacher in the role of a teacher leader can do. Teachers are some of the greatest leaders at school and community. Next topic is leadership versus management. Manager deals with planning, organizing and controlling. Leader deals with inspiring, motivating, influencing and bringing in desired changes. J.P. Cotter suggested the impact of leadership and management in the following manner. If there is a strong management and a strong leadership will lead to well-organized, well-motivated, successful team. Strong management and weak leadership will lead to administratively sound but little inspiration. Strong leadership and weak management will lead to inspired and motivated but unorganized. Weak management and weak leadership will lead to ineffective, dull and sometimes negative work environment. There are three styles of leadership: autocratic, laissez-faire and last one is democratic. So I will explain all of them one by one. First one is autocratic leadership. It is also known as authoritarian leadership. In this type of leadership, instructions are issued by an individual. The rest of the members have to follow the instructions. Its benefits are: it allows for quick decision making, especially in stress-filled situations. It offers a clear chain of commands. And the third benefit is It works well where strong directive leadership is needed. Its drawbacks are it discourages group inputs, morale, and will lead to resentment. It ignores creative solutions from subordinates. This picture interprets autocratic leadership. Some people believe that this style includes usage of abusive and harsh language and threatening the employees regularly. Now, this flowchart is for autocratic style. A is the leader and these arrows show direction of instruction. This style of leadership is not appropriate in any field, so for being a good teacher leader, one should avoid it. Next is laissez-faire leadership. It is also known as delegative leadership. In this style, leader allows the employees to make decisions, but the leader remains responsible for the decisions that are made. Its benefits are it can work for motivated teams with high expertise and skills. Creative teams may value the independence. It works well when leadership provides needed information and material at start of project. Its drawbacks are it is not good for groups lacking needed skills. It can result in poor performance. Leader may appear uninvolved. There can be confusion over roles in group. The image on the screen shows non-interference of leader in the affair of his employees. It is used by the leaders when he has full confidence on people under him. The flowchart shows that A is leader and only subordinates are communicating among each other. The last style of leadership is democratic. It is also known as participative leadership or shared leadership. It includes one or more employees in the decision-making process. Its benefits are more ideas and creative solutions will be generated. Group members will be committed towards work. It results in high productivity. And drawbacks are communication failures and poor decision-making by unskilled groups. The image on the screen shows democratic leadership. This style helps in utilizing the knowledge as well as the skills of employees effectively and efficiently. The flowchart shows that A is the leader and arrows are bidirectional. Next topic is innovation leadership. It is a philosophy and technique that combines different leadership styles to influence employees to produce creative ideas, products, and services. There are 3 stages of innovation. First is idea generation. For example, during this lockdown, an idea of online teaching generated in schools. Second stage is evaluation. Then the schools evaluated different softwares for online teaching. It will come in evaluation part. Third stage is implementation. After selecting an appropriate software, they implemented online teaching for providing education. There are 2 types of innovation. First is exploratory innovation. It means generating brand new ideas. For example, Charles Babbage originated the concept of a programmable computer. Second is value-added innovation. It involves modifying and improving ideas that already exist. For example, companies like Dell, Lenovo are making improvements on existing computers by making them faster and higher storage capacity. Now the last topic is why a leader embraces change. There are 4 reasons for this. First one is change is motivating. For example, nowadays our traditional teaching method is replaced by electronic teaching learning method. It motivated us to develop technical skills, improved communication skills as well as presentation skills. Second reason is change is exciting. Companies organize trips, fun activities, skill development program to bring a change in their daily routine. Such changes bring excitement in work and increases productivity. Third reason is growth only happens when things change. For example, people switch their jobs to grow financially and professionally. Personal and professional growth happens only when we learn new skills. And fourth reason is to change is to become part of history. Think 25 or 50 years back, compare it with today. There have been so many amazing changes to the world we live in. These changes were made by individuals and group of people who dared to take risks. The best way to predict the future is to envision it, then create it and take others along for the ride. Space travel is now possible, what was once only in the imagination of a science fiction writer. It is now part of our daily lives. It all begins with a personal belief and a single step. I wish all of you best of luck to be a great leader. Thank you.